So I'll start it now. A very good afternoon to everybody, and I hope the last session we did it on last Friday found it useful. Uh, and I really hope that you have started to implement all those strategies and techniques that we talked about last time in your practice. You brought it to your business, in your official communication, you have put it to use. So today we are here to talk about personal effectiveness. And when we talk about personal effectiveness, certainly we are talking about personal effectiveness at work. So, how to make yourself more effective at your workplace? We all certainly are skilled, knowledgeable, we know our jobs, we know what we are doing, but at the same time, to bring around the effectiveness of what we do is what we are going to talk about today. We're going to discuss that. Once again, my colleague, Assistant Professor Deepthi Avasti, she's my co-host and she'll be on the chat box. Should you have any question during the session, she'll be happy to respond to that. However, towards the end of the session, I'm certainly going to take all your unaddressed questions or queries, which if the session has not met them. So, formally welcome you on behalf of Chitkara University.
Thank you,
First,
ma'am.
at workplace, how should we make ourselves more effective? So that and why the question. There are multiple questions to how we should make ourselves effective. There are multiple questions. So think of all those possible WH questions: how, why, when, what, and everything under the roof. Uh, in terms of the WH questions tagged to this particular discussion that we are making today. So this is something which is proven. This is the data which is proven. I'm like it was really startling for me as well that it's 20% of the people in the entire organization or in an entire team which are 16 times more effective than the rest 80%. So it's just those 20% people who are more effective. The rest 80%, they merely keep doing jobs. They merely keep performing on their KRAs. We discussed KRAs last time. So they keep performing and delivering their job or their KRAs. But it's those 20% who stand out. I mean, like the people here in red that the cursor shows, these two. So, how to become those 20%? Because these 20% are 16 times more effective than the rest of the world. So, this is what we got to see, we got to discuss. And can anybody think of, in the meantime, please start thinking of this question that why do you think these 20% are more effective, are 16 times effective than the rest 80%? And how should you become that 20%? So start thinking in the meantime till we move further. Before which I ask you a very simple question once again. I'm like, it's thought provoking. What is personal effectiveness? Right? What is personal effectiveness is what we are going to talk about throughout. But it's a question because I'm talking about personal. So it's a question to be asked to one's own self. We are discussing this topic. However, you have to keep questioning yourself that what is it that personal effectiveness means, right? Now, so let's see what is personal effectiveness. It means making the most of your personal qualities. Of course, you have a certain set of education, you have a certain set of degrees and certifications and qualification. That's how you are there where you are, right? But what makes you more effective? It is those personal qualities, talents, and the resources that you have, which will actually come beneficial and handy and assist you in any endeavor, in any assignment that you take. So we got to focus ourselves on those personal qualities that we possess over somebody else. And if we are able to, make use of our personal qualities in order to our work, we'll be able to make an edge over the rest of the people there. Yes. So this is what personal effectiveness means. And it's rightly said, things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matter the least, you know. So we got to identify what matters most to me. I'm like, every individual may have their own personal qualities, their own attributes, right? And how can they map their qualities to the project that they are at, to the work that they are delivering? How can they map it? How can they convert it and make it more beneficial? And focus on that rather than things which are trivial. He said that, that person said that, he did like this, I did like this. Rather than those trivial issues, we got to focus only and only at how is to I have to make the most of my attributes to, outshine, to become that 20%. So now, once again, we'll take to menti.com, and the code is there on my screen, 380-8425. Please list at least 2 personal attributes, your personal qualities that you think you'll be able to map with your deliverables, your work. Whatever work you do, whatever domain you are in, what are those qualities that you can bring around and cache them to deliver to the best? So please take to menti.com, 380-8425. And okay, good planner, team handling, very good. Okay. I would want very quick, fastest finger first pace to be done here. Efficiency, very good. Empathy, commitment, discipline, yes. Committed towards work, okay. All right, yeah. Client communication, okay. Okay. What else? I expect more responses, please. Persistence, very good. Learning, yeah. Okay. Any more responses coming up? Could I see a few more? How many participants are there in the session? So I think we can have more responses, please.
9.
Okay. So here we are. Can you see your own responses? So these are the attributes that you have talked about, your personal qualities or your personal attributes, which you have talked about, that which you strongly believe that you can map them. Honesty, very well. These are the ones which you can map them with your deliverables at your workplace and make your work more effective for your personal effectiveness. Okay, now I'll give you just 30 seconds to think that out of the ones which you have lined up, which are as a character attribute or which are your personality attribute, right? Which are the ones you will be able to list out in your please think of. Which are the ones you'll be able to it's not. Just give me 1 second, please. Just 1 second. All right. Yeah. So which are the ones which fall under the category of personality, your personality, and which are the ones out of those you said just now fall under the category of character, right? So See, personality is something which is shown to the rest of the world. People can watch us. So there was something somebody wrote as communicating with the clients, or maybe communication, effective communication, right? So that is something which the world can see. They can watch us the way we communicate, right? Something which somebody wrote as honesty. Honesty is, which is a character based attribute, right? That's a character based attribute, sorry. So both are equally important. The personality as well the character based attributes are important. But from this iceberg, what we understand, the personality is only this bit, only this bit. What is shown to the outer world is only this bit. It is minimum double or even thrice or even more that is within us. That is the character. What kind of a human being am I? So, bottom line is, first I have to be a very good human being, a profound human being. It's only when I'll be able to become a profound professional, right? So, videos off, right?
I just turned it off.
Okay. Now, what are the ways to increase our personal effectiveness? What are the ways to further hone ourselves and move on? So let's look at the ways. What you want and what motivates you. The first question that you need to ask yourself is, what is it that I want from my own self? What is it that I want to do in my life? This is a very important question. Unless I'm able to answer this and satisfy myself, I'll not be able to, really deliver to the most, right? Then, after knowing that what is it that I want to do, ask, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Then is what motivates me. That is the second stage. What is it that motivates me? Right? Just give me 1 second. So, what motivates me is what I need to understand, right? Then allow yourself to follow your dreams and eliminate distorted thinking. So, whatever you wish doing from heart within, please be in pursuit of that. And anything which comes as a negative thought, which derails you, which stops you from doing what you wish doing, stop it. Just stop that, eliminate that. And I'm sure Rajesh is again going to ask me this question, how to do that. So Rajesh, like we talked about emotional disturbance last time, this is also this negative thought or anything which is a distorted thinking is also a negative, is also an emotional distort, right? So say,
Yeah.
just distract yourself, give yourself a time out. If something bothers you, give yourself a time out, right? Then, when we talked about the character based attributes, and we saw that character based attributes are way more important than even personality based, that leads us to possessing strong value system. Like somebody wrote down honesty. You got to be very honest at your work, right? Whatever you do, if you have made a mistake, honestly take the onus, honestly admit that I uh, you know uh, did it wrong, which is all right. The sky is not going to fall down. So identify your values, get organized. That's very important. So to make yourself very effective at your work, you got to be very organized. And how should we do that? By putting first things first. Prioritize yourself. Take up one thing at a time. I talked about it last time also. Take up one thing at a time and make sure you're giving your 100% to that. Prioritize yourself, organize yourself. Let's say you have to line up yourself for Monday and you have, let's say, the number of tasks there, 4 tasks, six things to do. List them out first. First, you have listed them down, then number them. In what order should you go? What is the urgency of what particular assignment to be delivered or performed or done, right? Then feedback plays a crucial role in strengthening our personal effectiveness, in increasing our personal effectiveness. Please seek for feedback from somebody who you can trust, from a mentor, your boss, your senior, your colleague, your friend, your family, anybody who you think will be able to give you the right advice, but at the same time should also have knowledge of that, right? If I have to take feedback and if I take it from a person who's like, let's say, my own daughter, she wouldn't be that experienced as I am. She wouldn't be knowing a particular thing so much as I may be knowing. So then, whatever I'll get it as a feedback may not be so much fulfilling. So you got to see that who knows more, or who is the subject master. So please seek feedback from that person. So we don't know what we don't know. It's as simple as that. And we got to accept this. Just pretending that, oh, I know it all. Somebody asked you this and you have to say, yeah, 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 So admit to yourself. You don't have to go and admit to the world. You have to admit to yourself. It's as simple as that. I don't know a certain thing and I don't know that. So I need to know it. So the moment you admit this, that yes, I don't know this, the need within you arises to know it. Then is when the desire to know it arises. Then you look for, okay, who is it that I should reach to know it? And then is when you're going to reach to the right person. And very importantly, one should learn to deal with failures. Failure is just a step next to success. Unless we fail at one step, how would we be able to fine tune ourselves to achieve the goals? Right? We'll not work at all if we don't fail. Keep attempting each time with better effort, with fine tuning our deliverables, is what the mantra for success is. So one should learn how to accept the failures. Never get demotivated and disheartened on a failure. Failure is nothing but a step close, takes you step closer to to reaching out to success. So we talked about being effective, right? I remember on the menti.com there was one response as efficiency, and we can see the same word here on the slide as well. Being efficient, right? What do you think is more important? You can quickly register your responses on the chat box. What do you think is more important? Being efficient is more important, or being effective is more important? Should you have to take one, which one would you take?
Efficient.
Efficient. Okay, very well. Any other response, please?
I think it's effective.
Okay, Rajesh said it's effective. Okay, let's see. What is it as being efficient? Okay, first thing is we should know what is being efficient. So being efficient means doing things right, and it should be time bound. So you should know how to manage your time. Then it should be resource focused. You should know to deliver this particular assignment, I have these resources or I have these limited resources. I have to make the most of this. I have to utilize it to the optimum. And it should be activity oriented or based. That means assignment based. This is being efficient. Now I got two responses. One said efficient and the other said effective. Now you already know what is being efficient. Could I now get a response? What do you think? Which one will you endorse, being efficient or being effective? Can I have a third person hearing out, please? Anybody? Okay, then I'll move further. So this is being efficient, doing things right, time driven, resource focused, activity based. This is being efficient. Now let's take a look at what is being effective, right? Being effective means doing the right things. It is compass driven. What is compass driven? That is time driven, that is compass driven. What do you mean by compass driven? That means, am I putting my energies in the right direction or not? Right? Am I putting my, let's say, here, what do you feel that what am I good at? I'm good at this kind of a work. And what if I started to make paintings and try to become an artist, whereas I may not have such a good artistic hand there? Would I be putting my energies, my time into the right direction? I say, no, I would better become an artist. I'll learn it from someone. This is something which is innate in me. The skill that I am delivering right now, it is innate in me. It just involuntarily flows into me, right? So compass driven means, are you in the right direction? Do you think you are in the right place? The very first question, do what you wish doing. Pursue your dreams, right? Then instead of resource focused, that oh, I have these limited resources, I have to do within this. It should be goal focused. Look at what my goal is to achieve. Now see how I have to achieve that. What I have to drive, what kind of resources I have to drive to achieve my goals, right? Then it shouldn't be only activity based, the assignment based, because assignment may involve lot many people also. So it should be people and activity based. Whom am I delivering to? What is it going to come as handy? Ask all those WH questions around the goal that you have to achieve, right? Who are the people who will be best able to assist you or give you advice on it? How can you make it better? What specializations can you use of people in it? So this is being effective. When you incorporate others also, this is being effective, right? Now, again, my question goes back to, what do you think which is more important? Of course, being efficient is good and one should be efficient, but being effective is more important, right? So personal effectiveness is a step above efficiency. You are efficient and then you start working on the effectiveness of yourself on work, your deliverables. How do you make yourself more effective is the next step to efficiency, right? So definitely, if I'm an efficient person, from there I should focus on going to the next step, which is being effective, right? So effectiveness certainly would take over efficiency. Now coming to what are the different types of personal effectiveness. So we nicely define them into three parts. Personal attributes, we have already talked about these personal attributes through the menti.com. We spoke about these. So what are the personal attributes, right? Then next is self-management. Now I do possess certain innate qualities in me or acquired qualities in me. Like honesty is something which is innate. It comes from within, right? However, to become disciplined, I learned maybe at my school. Maybe I was a sports person. So I learned it from there because sports needs a lot of discipline, right? So maybe I learned from there. Maybe I worked in such an organization, right? Wherein discipline was if I talk about defense services, it is everything and anything about discipline. They breathe in and out discipline, right? Right from 5 o'clock in the morning, it's discipline, discipline, discipline. So there are only three words in the life, and that is discipline, discipline, discipline. So like that. So that is something which we acquired while we were growing, right? Or maybe our parents taught us, any which way. So personal attributes are innate, which are from within, right? The other ones are acquired, which we learn over the period of time. The next one, the next important element for personal effectiveness is self-management. It's very important, self-management. So how do we self-manage? We're going to talk about this in the later slides, and the professional development is also we're going to talk about in the following slides, right? But throughout the session, what is more that we are going to focus at, because professional development is broadly we understand, personal attributes we've talked about, we already possess. What is it we are going to focus for personal effectiveness is self-management throughout, right? So personal attributes could be things like I'm enthusiastic, I have a lot of perseverance, integrity, a strong integrity, I am confident, right? I self-reflect, I keep introspecting my actions, and I'm a responsible person. So such things and all the rest that you've already written at menti.com, right? Then self-management. This is preparedness. How do you manage self? It is preparedness. Next day in the morning, you have to go to the office. So many people practice this, that the previous night they go check their closet to see what costume are they wearing to the office the next morning. Not that wake up in the morning, wake up 5 minutes late and then rushing to dress up, and the dress that I wanted to wear, it's not ready. I yet have to iron it. So like getting clumsy with it. So that is preparedness. I've just given you an instance of being preparedness in terms of just getting ready to the office. Preparedness is required for everything, right? Then prioritization, I already talked about it. Put first things first, right? Then commitment. That is also self-management, a strong commitment. And adaptability. One should be very adaptable, very open-minded, open to learning new things, open to grabbing new ideas, open to listening to other people, and if that is worthwhile and valuable, then going with them, right? Then time management. Somebody wrote time management on the response when I had asked for. Then very important for self-management is work-life balance. You should be able to manage your personal life, balance your personal life as well as your work life. Do not mingle. These are two tracks of the railway line. They never meet anywhere, right? However, they go hand to hand. We cannot live our lives in compartment, but we don't want them to intersect, right? So that work-life balance to maintain is very important. And for professional development, career management, whatever I'm doing now, how do I manage that? How do I make sure that I'm growing in my career? What is it that I'm doing to grow in my career? Then is continual learning. Also, somebody had given this as a response there, learning, right? Responsiveness to opportunity. Grab the opportunity or create the opportunity. Do not wait to be served on your platter or you to be coaxed to do a certain thing. Automatically see, yes, map your skills and say that, yes, I'm going to do this. Networking, and very important is maintaining one's reputation and self-esteem so that your personal branding is very important here, right? People should not know a person for, being, what do you say, an escapist, right? A mediocre performer, a compromiser, or a shaker. People should know us for being that 20%, which I spoke right in the beginning. We should create our image such that we fall into that 20%. Now, as I said, I'm going to majorly talk about self-management because personal effectiveness is what is going to come out of this maximum. 80% is going to come out of this. Personal attributes is something which you already possess, right? You only, those are your strengths and you got to keep sharpening your strengths, right? So let's look at what falls under self-management. First and foremost is managing stress, right? How do we manage stress? Again, a question. Likewise, the emotional one. So certain breathing exercises, deep breathing helps, and that is proven, that's medically proven that yes, deep breathing helps us release our stress, manage our stress, right? So first is deep breathing, you must do that, okay? Then second is, if there is some kind of stress, distract yourself by indulging yourself in a creative activity, something which could be a hobby. You like driving, go for a long drive. You like gardening, just go do some gardening. You are a great cook, or you like to cook new dishes each time, try new dishes each time, just try and do that. The moment you indulge yourself into that, your stress releases, right? You get a break from from the regular, what is stressing you out. So these are certain ways of doing that. Then controlling impulses. So when I say controlling impulses, it means do not react at the drop of the hat. That's very important. Take time to understand what is being said. Take time to absorb it. Once you have comprehended, understand the emotion behind it, right? Do not go by the words or the situation in which it has been spoken. Then absorb it. After comprehending, after finding for the right emotion of the message, then please absorb it within yourself, churn it within yourself. Then play the devil's advocate, bring in empathy here. Please put yourself in the other person's shoe, the one who has said something which has disturbed you. Rather than reacting right away, put yourself in that person's shoe. You'll get all the answers to why is it he has spoken like that, right? And by the time you do all of this, your that very strong impulse, it'll subside, right? And it'll cool down, and that is what is going to help you from not throwing a fit, rather. Okay. Then the next is organizational skills. As I said, preparedness, that's one of the organizational skills. Yeah, time management is organizational skills. Prioritizing is organizational skills. So you organize yourself around it. What is it that I'm doing? What all is required? So all those WH questions before starting the task, before getting onto a task, right? And at every milestone, smaller milestones achieved, keep reminding yourself of the long-term goal that you have to achieve by that, right? Then self-discipline is very important, and somebody did write discipline there. That's a personal attribute, right? Then comes motivating oneself. We talked about this. What motivates me? What am I doing? And what motivates me? So keep motivating yourself. And how do you keep motivating by yourself? When you have a long-term goal, please do make those short-term goals. You have to drive down to Delhi. You should have shorter goals, that within this much time, I'll reach the next station and I'll have a cup of tea there. Then reaching the next station by this time, what is the motivation? That I'll have a cup of tea. Then reaching Sukhdev Dhaba, I'm going to have a sumptuous breakfast or lunch or whatever hour of the day. So that's my next motivation. So make small term goals there, and achieving every milestone, that gives you a lot of motivation. Yes. Then accountability is very important. Be responsible. Be responsible for whatever you do. Do not get into blame game. Do not, okay, I'm not the manager, so and so is the manager, so what? Let him be answerable. Let him take the responsibility. Why has he left it to myself? Why has he left it to me? You have that opportunity. In the previous slide, I talked about make the most of the opportunities. If you have been given an assignment, a project, that means it's an opportunity. Out of so many, you were chosen for that. Don't think that it's the responsibility of your senior. Think that it's your responsibility. And how do we take responsibility? If we consider it to be my baby. This is my project and this is my baby. Nobody should be there to chase me and keep asking me, how much have you done? How much have you done? Are you in time? Have you been able to complete? Are you doing the right way? It's my responsibility. It's my baby. I should be responsible towards it, right? So one should not leave the room for people to be after us, because that's again quite bugging. It stresses and it's demotivating also. But it's not that they want to do so. We give them an opportunity to take control over us, because if we are not responsible. So being responsible stops any such bugging affair, right? Then goal setting, I've been talking about goal setting throughout when I talked about motivating and everything. So goal setting is very important, very, very important. Yes. So make sure that you have a set goal there. And then well-being. So well-being means your self well-being, your personal well-being, because we are talking about personal effectiveness. How do you ensure your well-being? So, by being physically fit, that's the first thing. If I'm not physically fit, if I'm ill, I will not be able to deliver my best, right? So, I need to work on my physical health. Maybe I indulge in some such exercises, which is my routine. So, make it your routine to take to some exercises, deep breathing, eating healthy, eating on time. This is how you keep yourself physically fit, right? Then mentally fit. How do you keep yourself mentally fit? By not letting yourself being bogged down, demotivated and stressed, which we have talked about. How to de-stress ourselves. Some people would love doing some yoga. Some people would love meditating. Some would love listening out to some very pleasant and soothing music, right? Deep breathing, all of that. Meditating also, that also helps us being mentally well, right? And enjoy the company of like-minded people. That also gives us a lot of mental health, right? Then is emotional well-being. Our emotional well-being is very important, because emotionally, if you get perturbed, it hampers your mental well-being and your physical well-being both. So emotionally well-being, emotionally healthy, we talked about it in the last session. Again, all that adding to, yes, the stressing, motivating yourself, doing things, uh, uh, recognizing and your own accomplishments, acknowledging your own accomplishments is also very, on small things also. I did this nice today. Small things. Acknowledge yourself. So these are the things. Now, how will this self-management help us? What is it going to do for me? The self-management. If I'm able to manage myself well, what is it going to do to me? Self-management is going to make me good, right? Here, from good to better, better to the best, right? And if I continue to do so, then I'll be a person full of, variety of colors. That is better than the best. Here I am the best. Here I'll be better than the best. So I'll keep improving myself as a human being. And if I keep improving and fine tuning myself as a human being, I'll even become a better professional. I'll be able to perform better than the best, right? And why should I do this? Now, the question is, why should I do all of this? Why? So that I become a better version of myself tomorrow. What I am today, I should become a better version of myself tomorrow, right? Because see the arrow, it's taking you right up there. So your personal effectiveness is something, if you are able to manage yourself well, it takes you up in your career, in your life, and you accomplish and achieve everything that you desire to. But the question here is, we have talked about what self-management and why self-management, but how should I do self-management? We have talked about those things, the important elements of self-management, but how should I do this? See, there was something as reflective, be reflective, right? Introspect. So discover yourself, that's the foremost, first and foremost. Just sit down with your own self and discover who you are. And believe me, you people, we haven't so far been able to discover ourselves fully. And 80% of the population doesn't even know who they are factually. Inside them, who they are. They are just being driven by their circumstances, by their condition, I mean, like maybe the family condition, their work condition. So primarily by the circumstances. They give the control to the time that they live in. They give the control to the time. They don't keep the control of their own life within their own hands, which we can very well do. Even if the time at times take over us, but then how much? It is again for us to see that how much do I become a slave of time? How much do I become a slave of the situation that I am into? Should I surrender it all? Or okay, I can just compromise a bit, but the rest is what I am. I should maintain myself. No matter you are, if there is an honest person, even if he is in a situation wherein honesty will only lead him to something which is not good, would harm him rather, right? Still, is he ready to trade in his honesty, trade in his innate attribute to that just that situation? So certainly not, right? So discover yourself thoroughly well, who you are. Who am I is the question. Keep asking you every day, every time. Because that introspection, get into the practice of introspection, right? Reflections is very important, because this is what is going to help you discover your potential. Now that you know who you are, then you understand what is my potential, what can I do, what all can I do, right? And please dream big. Dream big. Nobody stops you from dreaming big, but dream is never the one which we see with closed eyes, right? Dream is the one which we live. So try and work towards big things, right? And once you're able to discover your own potential, oh, I could do this, I am able to do this. It helps you live your potential, live up to that expectation of your potential, right? So living up to your potential is very important. And how it is going to help you? It is going to make you more effective. Physically, we have talked about; mentally, emotionally, also we have talked about. Educationally, we all understand. From time to time, we have sought a formal education, but from time to time, the demand of the market is growing. What the market needs today, I should be fully equipped educationally there, right? And please be very effective socially also. Now, socially doesn't mean that I am good with my neighbors. My neighbors are my colleagues also at my workplace. Am I good with my people around me in the office? So and all of us, we are social animals. So our interpersonal skills, when I say socially, it means my interpersonal skills should be in place, should be strong. I should know how to work with others. See, in the sky, the sun exists, the moon exists, also the stars exist. And all the three have their different energies. The sun is very, very strong at energy, whereas the moon and the stars are so cool and peaceful and serene. But they coexist. So we should know how to coexist, right? Alongside, to be effective, attitude matters. What work who's doing is not what is important. There is no work which is small or big. One, that there should be a mutual respect for all. Even if the person, he operates the lift for us, he's important. He makes my life easy to the office, right? So he is doing a great job indeed. He's doing a great job. He's making life easy for so many. I should have respect for him as well, right? So one is that very important. My attitude matters. And when I said interpersonal skills, attitude plays a huge role there. So while doing some work, no work is big or small. Just see how you can do it in a very big way. That's important, right? The next is think positively. So thinking positively again is very important, and that also contributes to our attitude, because if we keep brooding and thinking negatively and be a pessimistic over the period of time, our attitude would be a very closed one. We'll only see the dark shades of life, we'll never be able to see the brightness of life, right? Then comes be grateful to not only God, not only to your family, to everything in this world that you've got, to your colleagues who help you do certain things which you may not be able to do alone, right? Like I each time thank Dipti ma'am, that thank you to be a support there. Even if she'll be answering the chats there, but that is making my life so much easy. I'm focusing on my work. The project is, the outcome of the project is a success. That's important. So everybody has a role. We had our sir from the IT to help us facilitate the whole process. So to ensure that the session goes very well. So everybody has a role to play, and be grateful, be thankful to every person in your life and to every situation there. And live in your present rather than in future, because a delayed gratification is definitely, it marks the success. So if somebody has done good to you, say thanks to the person there and then, acknowledge the person's contribution towards you there and then, rather than waiting for another opportunity in future. If you have done something remarkably well, acknowledge yourself, appreciate yourself, reward yourself. Maybe you can treat yourself that evening for a simplest of thing. Oh, let me go for a drive. I did a great session today. So, like that. So, that's very important, right? Now, coming to bringing all of this, we have talked about self management. Now, bringing it all to personal effectiveness at workplace. So, let's see what it does. We have talked about what it does, but what are those elements which are imperative, right? Somebody talked about communication. Yes, effective communication skills are very imperative, very, very imperative. And along with effective communication skills, interpersonal skills, interpersonal is interpersonal behavior. Your behavior with others is very important, right? Then conducting meetings effectively. Meeting, maybe just one-on-one with your peer, maybe in a team, maybe with your boss, maybe with the management, maybe with your clients. Meeting could be at any level, but make sure that you make it very effective. Then influencing without authority. Now people, this is an art. Do not throw your weight around. Even if I'm a senior, I shouldn't be throwing my weight around. This is an art to learn. This is an art to learn. It wouldn't just happen. Watch some effective leaders of the world. Please watch for their qualities and try and imbibe those qualities in self. Because if you boss over, if you be authoritative, if you throw weight around, nobody takes, and you'll not be liked. A person will listen to you because you're the boss. So that is, you'll not be able to motivate others to drive to take an action. We talked about strategic communication. So a leader should be able to drive his people to take action. How does he do that? By motivating them, by influencing them, rather than by ordering them, right? Then problem solving is very important. You should be very quick at problem solving. Something is there, some conflict, some problem. At the drop of the hat, the solution should be there. And what helps you doing this kind of a thing is this skill, if you're very creative. If you keep thinking creatively, one is different ideas, one is that. Second is if you are a positive person, if you have a positive attitude, if you look at the brighter side of the things, if you always see the gray shades of life, problem solving can never happen. You can never get the good solution to it. You'll be able to come up with brilliant ideas, brilliant solutions if you are a positive person, right? And a creative person. And keep thinking more and more. And also, if you are an adaptable and an open minded person, you readily listen to others also. If you think, yes, they have a good point to make, please take it right there, right? Rather than sitting with a bag of ego, right? Then decision making, you should be an effective decision maker. Very important task, very, very important. Learn how to take decisions and firm decisions, right? Then project management. All of this is going to lead you to project management. All the skills that those are listed above project management here, they are going to lead you to they are going to lead you to manage your project effectively, right? And conflict management. Conflict management and problem solving are pretty close. However, little different vibe. In problem solving, maybe you're just offering a solution to something. In conflict management means there is already a conflict. That is an action already, right? That's no longer abstract. That's an action already. And how do you quickly intervene and resolve the matter? So how do you resolve this? Rather than offering a solution, you are now resolving. You're putting it to an action. So that's the difference between conflict management. Again, for conflict management, all those self-management attributes, being positive, open-minded, adaptable, a keen listener, a team player, right? Emotionally intelligent, everything is required. Now, what will this? We've talked about the effectiveness at workplace, all those skills required. How will it impact us positively, right? If we set goals, we did talk about setting goals. And when we set goals, before, see, let's say a new project has come, before even jumping into that project, first set goals for yourself. The very first goal is to understand the project itself, right? The second goal is to see what all is required to deliver this project. Third is who all should be put into this. How much time is required? What are the resources required? So these are all also the goals, and these are all short-term goals, immediate goals, right? These are not even short-term; these are immediate goals, right? After that, before starting to work, set goals. What am I going to achieve out of this? At what level I'm going to achieve out of this, right? And then please backtrack. That is the last thing. What are you going to accomplish out of the goal? That's the last thing. Now please backtrack and see what all stages do I have to cross to reach there. And those stages that you number them, they are those short-term goals. So setting goals is very important. However, when we talk about goals, they should be SMART goals, right? Which is measurable, right? Uh, Within the time frame, achievable. So they should be SMART goals. Then trust factor is very important. Your own trustworthiness and trusting your people around you, your team is very important. You have to have trust in people, and you also should be trustworthy, right? Then emotions at work. Do not bring emotions at work. Be emotionally intelligent, but do not bring emotions at work. When I say do not bring emotions at work, it means don't carry any baggages. I had this conflict with my family member in the morning. I'm in a terrible, terrific mood this day, and the whole day I've been in an awful mood. And whoever I speak to, I'll be very rude or harsh or curt or whatever. Right? So, this is one way of bringing baggage of emotions to work. The other is yesterday I had a conflict with a team member. Okay, even today I'm sitting on that baggage, and because that hampers your work, that certainly hampers your work. You have to work with people there. If you are in such an awful mood, if you are sitting with a bias, you not and you don't move on from there, It'll hamper your work, right? Then the next is the etiquette to be observed. Workplace etiquette, one is good manners, right? Good manners also incorporate exchanging pleasantries, interpersonal skills, saying hi, hello to everyone, being polite, being a soft-spoken person, right? So all of this comes under etiquette. Uh, do not interrupt anybody in a meeting. Telephone etiquette, email etiquette, all of this comes in workplace etiquette, right? Then make sure whatever we do and whoever we work with, we have a win-win relationship. It should be regard your own needs, also regard the other person's needs. That's very important. And once you do all of this, you start practicing all of this, it leads to self mastery. And self mastery is very important for personal success, right? Character, here, this middle pillar, and why it is in the center? Because it's holding the whole building there. It's the main pillar which is taking the bearing of the whole building, right? So that's the character, which is, I said it's innate. We saw it right at the beginning, right? Then this is something which we develop, being receptive to others, open-mindedness, adaptable, right? And this is the confidence that we have in us, in ourselves, and in others also who we work along with, right? So if we do this, this will lead us to stand out at our work. And to stand out at our work, we should make self-development plans. So how do you make self-development plans? By seeing what is the demand of the market, what is the market evolving as, your industry evolving as, what all I need to keep adding to my skill set or my knowledge, right? Try new things. Do not cling to only one thing that you've been doing. Don't keep doing it for donkeys of years. Keep trying new things. Maybe you excel at a thing which you have just started to do. You start doing it better than something which you were doing for so many years. So keep trying new things. And by trying new things, it also makes you more creative. It keeps honing your creative skills, right? And be confident. Never underestimate yourself. However, there is a very thin line between being confident and overconfident. So do not become overconfident, but please be confident, because being confident gives a boost to our self esteem and our self recognition. That's very important. If I do not appreciate my own self, the world is not going to appreciate me. If I keep underestimating myself, the world will always look me down, right? So that's very important. And never, now this is a very good question. What do you think, work versus job? Which one is more important? Could you please register it in the chat box quickly? Which is more important, work or job? Do I have a response there?
Amanjot has written work.
Work, very well, Amanjot. Certainly work is more important. If you do your job as job, it will only limit you to a job. If you take it as your baby, right? If you do it as a work that I have to do, this is my work, right? It will take you places. That will give you ownership. We talked about responsibility. That is going to take you places, right? For which we need a lot of energy, be enthusiastic, have the right attitude, think excellence. How do I make it even better? Create opportunities for yourself and remember what you should say and what you shouldn't say. So that's very important. Now, Stephen Covey, hope you people have heard of his name, right? He has given this model, that is 7 habits of most effective people. We'll quickly take a look at it. Be proactive. Being with the end in mind. I'll just move on to the next slide wherein I'm explaining these. Okay. So be proactive, that is taking responsibility. How to become proactive? First and foremost is take ownership of your work. Whatever you do, take ownership, take responsibility. And I explained you thoroughly well earlier that how to take responsibility. Then secondly, rather than being a reactive person, be a responsible person. The word responsible comes from responsible, somebody who is able to give a good response, right? That is what a responsible person is. And do not indulge in blame game. Oh, why did you not do it? I don't know, my colleague did not show up today, that is how the project is delayed. So that shouldn't be the approach, right? Then second is being with the end in mind. When we were talking about goal setting in the previous slide, here also we do have goal setting. So I said, start backtracking yourself. First thing, what you have to achieve, talk about that final goal that you're working towards, and then backtracking that what are those smaller goals, what all you would need to do that, what steps you'll need to fill in that, right? So begin with the end in mind. The first is goal setting, then make an action plan around it, right? Then be very honest and deliver to your best, right? Lean your ladder against the right wall. That's very important. You have decided it all, but maybe you're doing it wrongly. So your ladder, make sure you are leaning it against the right wall. Otherwise, all the time and energy that you've put to some work will not happen, will not give you any good results. And focus on things that can be controlled rather than things that cannot be controlled. So things which cannot be controlled are those external factors. Let's say somebody is not a team player, he doesn't work when asked. Forget it. You still have to do the project, you still have to deliver the project. Just consider, do not consider him being as in the team. Have your plan B. If he doesn't work, how are we going to still complete the project? So like this. Going to the next is put first things first, and we have talked about this earlier, so I think let it go. So just prioritize yourself, right? And also, while prioritizing, you see that certain things you may not be able to map within your schedule. So it's okay if that is the need of the hour. It's okay to say no to certain things, but only if they hamper your work. If you can accommodate them, please do that, right? Then is think win-win. We have been talking about a win-win relationship. So learn how to collaborate with others, for optimal results. Okay. My success cannot come out of somebody else's failure. This is something, a bottom line, a mantra that I have to remember. So do not waste your energies to pull down the other person. Rather put those energies in making yourself a success, right? And this is something which is a character based attribute, right? So seeking first to understand, then to be understood, right? So communicate so effectively and at all levels. As I said, maybe that person who operates the lift, even he is equally important as I am, right? Not that, oh, why should I care for him? Why should I communicate well with him? Why should I have a mutual respect for him? I'm like, so such things shouldn't hinder my communication at multi-level, right? And if I am an effective communicator, then is when I'll be able to understand and seek for good responses also. Then synergize with other people, that is collaborating with other people, be open-minded, see how you can bring the best. Who would be the best to contribute on that particular project? Please collaborate with that person, right? And innovate and be creative and problem solve. Synergy lets us discover jointly things which we are much less likely to discover by ourselves. Generally, there are things which we never attempt also. But when we are in a team, somebody or the other silently, maybe advertently or inadvertently, motivates us to do a certain thing, and we do it and we excel at it. So that is the beauty of synergy, right? Then is keep sharpening the saw. And this is the 7th habit of Stephen Covey. Keep sharpening the saw. That means never stop learning further. Whatever you already know, see what next is the level that you need to learn. Yeah. Just give me 1 second, please. Yeah. So how this is going to benefit us? It is, these 7 habits, how are they going to benefit us? They'll keep motivating us, right? Then we'll be able to set only and only achievable goals, and not just I want to do this, I want to do that. And those will be all achievable goals, right? And with a lot of motivation, with the right goals, with leaning my ladder against the right wall, I will be able to pave my way for success. And because of synergizing with other people, having the right attitude, collaborating, right, I'll be able to do away with the negative thoughts. Yes? So every day, this is something which I personally do, and I also would recommend. Every day, once you reach your office, spend these 20 minutes. It's a quick task. Evaluate your past week or your past day. What did you do? How did you do? What needs to be done further? Review and map it with what you have done already, with the goals that you have set for yourself, and then see what your role is there and how do you want to prioritize that. Then you reschedule your goals. Maybe you want to reschedule your goals, the smaller goals, okay? And then set the weekly goals. Maybe you have to once again tweak your weekly goals, okay? So this is a little exercise that you can do. Focus on your strengths. What do you love to do? We have talked about it earlier, and what are the right people who you would like to work with, who are maybe like-minded, who are like skilled, and all of these. What is it that may bother you? So you may keep it at the last priority. That worst case scenario, you're going to do that. Otherwise, that is, keep it only as a plan C, D, E, whatever, but not as a plan A for sure. So, and what comes naturally to you? So, what is it that comes naturally to me? So, might as well develop that skill further, right? And make the most of it, exploit that skill. There are 4 types of, there are 4 quadrants when I say my strengths. One is an unrealized, that is my innate, which I have within me, which I don't even know. I haven't, developed these skills. So I really perform well at it, and they are very energizing. Also, they automatically flow out of me. However, because they may not be, they are my innate skills, so they may not be like honesty and all of that. So maybe they are not directly put to my work. Okay, indirectly, yes, all of that comes handy, but they may not be put directly to my work. However, they do maximize my 4 M's. I'm going to talk about what 4 M's are. The realized skills, my strengths, something which I have acquired, and developed them as my strengths for work. I perform well, energizing also. We put them to higher use. And again, here we have to marshal or guard our 4 M's, right? The learned behavior or the acquired behavior. So the learned behavior, which is not my second nature, which is not actually my personality, I will not be able to put it to use a lot. Only sometimes when the need is, the demand is, then maybe I put it to use, otherwise no, right? And something which is my weakness, again, that de-energizes me, and one should take care that we may not put it to much use. The 4 M's that I'm talking about, motivator. What motivates you and your people? So that's the first question, and it started with almost the first slide. Who's your role model, or can you be a role model to the other person? So if you wish to be a role model to somebody else, be a good listener, right? And if you have to give examples to your people, then exemplify using a role model. So and so does it like this, and that person should be actually a role model, right? Again, mentoring someone or getting mentored yourself is important, and mastery is anytime very, very important. Right, now we have some lateral thinking. Sorry, just give me 1 second. What am I doing? Just give me 1 second, people. We have some lateral thinking quizzes here for a quick roundup. Please give the answer to this. You can write down in the chat box, or you wish to speak, you may speak, please. Very quick, these are just 30 seconds. These are 30 seconds responses. Somebody give?
No, not yet.
You can speak also.
Fastest. Muzammil has written fastest.
Fastest. Okay, something else? Just a 30-second it is. We are talking about creativity. Quick. Okay, I'll give you. It's breakfast. The fast is broken, two sides apart. So it's break. The word fast is break. Now put the word break in front of fast. It becomes breakfast. Okay, it's pronounced as breakfast. It's written as breakfast. Okay, the next one coming to you. Quickly take to it. What is it, please? Just 30 seconds. Anybody?
Creative.
I can't hear you. A quick guess, please.
For sure. Promise.
No.
Anyone?
No idea.
No? It's a broken promise.
I
It's a
thought it should be only one word.
Huh? Yes, please.
We thought it should be only one word answer.
No. I'm not giving you any. Okay, this one.
Half baked.
This one.
Half baked.
Very good. Who said it?
Muzammil.
Okay. Muzammil.
It's Rajesh.
Very nice. Very
Rajesh
nice.
also.
So Akriti, you need to give him, a candy there. You'll have to do it on my behalf. Okay, very good. Coming the next, yes. Who would take?
Travel by sea. Travel by sea.
Yeah.
Travel by sea.
Travel by sea.
Yeah.
Think of something. You're very close. Think of something, please.
Sea travel.
Sea or something else. Can we be a little quick? It's just a 30 seconds. Okay. Travel is written overseas. So travel overseas.
They're reading it like maths.
Oh.
Travel overseas. So it's a problem solving. It's a conflict resolution. Creative. Okay. Next one. I hope you take it, please. Yes. Who
Moon
would-
once.
Yeah. Okay. Give me 1 second. I think this thing has. Yeah. So it is once in a blue moon. Once and once is in the word moon.
It's written.
Yeah. It's written
Oh.
in the moon and it's a blue color moon. Once in a blue moon. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Now take this one. We've been saying it all our life, ever since our childhood. Anyone?
A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Oh, wonderful. Who gave this?
And Rajesh. Gave.
Very good. Tamil and Rajesh, both of you have given this. Great. So, Akriti, you got to be ready with the candies. And sometimes that I meet, I'll definitely, share some.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
So why are we talking about personal effectiveness? So that we are happy at work, we are happy people at work. Because unless we are happy people at work, believe me, you will never be able to give 100%, right? So success is not the key to happiness. We all understand this. Otherwise, every Mercedes driver would have been the most happy person on this earth, right? Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you're doing, you'll be successful. Okay? So, any questions? Deepti, how do I bring my camera here?
Camera. Alt V.
Alt. Any questions, people? This doesn't have alt.
No.
Good. Any questions? Okay. No, but then I can't see it. Huh?
Stop sharing.
Yeah. Yeah. Any questions, people?
Let me take the screenshot.
नो क्वेश्चंस टुडे मैम, मुझे लग रहा है आज किसी को कोई क्वेश्चंस ही नहीं है.
All right. Hope the session was of some help to you.
Yes,
Yeah ma'am,
Thank
it
you for your time.
was really good.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. And I thoroughly enjoyed
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you for being such a nice audience. And hope to meet you, of
Thank
course.
you.
And Akriti, you must share the candies with them. Rajesh and
Yeah,
Musa,
Yeah ma'am,
it's two.
thank you so much for the
Korea
session
Garwani
ma'am,
ma'am.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And people, I'll just share with you something. The certificates are in process and we'll be sending them across to you. So my colleague Rajesh Chandran, probably he'll arrange for that. We have some certificates arranged for you.
Sure.
Right. Thank you so much and have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Thank you. Bye.